Okay, I wanted to talk to you about the cannabis industry here in St. Kitts. This was actually passed, the laws, not too long ago. What it does is it gives you the opportunity, if you are a citizen, you got to be a national to do this. So you would have to get the citizenship by investment if you're not a current citizen right now. And the great thing about this is you can actually get involved with the cannabis industry, and it's a very profitable industry, but it is open only to citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. So, but this has opened up recently. So if you've thought about getting involved with this industry, the weather is really good for this type of industry in St. Kitts. So, this is a great place to come for it. There's a lot of farmland here because they did away with the sugarcane industry approximately around 15 years ago, and what happened was there's just tons of farmland here from the sugarcane industry that's still there, and which is fertile ground for growing cannabis. So if you're interested in doing that, that's a great thing to get into. I'm going to tell you some other industries that I think would be great in St. Kitts that I think the government would love to have. Is you'll notice right out here all this seaweed here that comes up here. If you go on the internet, I'm not going to go into all the things today, but there are so many different things that you can do with seaweed now. And this seaweed comes right up on this ocean here. And there's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. I mean, it's just incredible amounts. You can come down here and start this business in the seaweed business. There's just tons of it. And like I said, it's coming right up on the ocean here. The government would love for somebody to come out here and pick all this stuff up. And this would be a great source of a business that you could come into and literally recharge an industry that's not even here, that there's a big demand for worldwide. Just go on the internet, you can see all the industry, and I'll tell you something, man, we get a lot of seaweed that comes in here, and it's just an ample amount of supply that comes in. And you can see it all in the water, and it's right here on the beach. Another thing, industry, I'm going to tell you too that's real good, is we have an issue with boats. You'll notice that there's some trash out here on the beach, okay? Really don't like showing this, but it doesn't come in from people littering here. It's out in the ocean from boats and stuff, and it comes in, floats in. But there's all kinds of plastic and stuff you can do. Come down here, do a business where you are actually going to recycle plastic, glass, and all kinds of stuff. Great, you can come down here, and I'll tell you something, it's a lot easier to get things done in a smaller country, trying to work out deals and stuff with the government to get these beaches clean and then have this recycling business of plastic, glass. It just comes in all the time, and I'm sure that the government would work out something. You just come out here and you get it, and it would probably be free if you work out an agreement, because the government would love to probably see this done. There's so many different opportunities. They're just, I can't tell you all the opportunities down here. Remember, the business, you come down here, don't think local. This is the problem people have. They come down here and they say, Tom, there's 50,000 people, there's 40,000 St. Kitts, 10,000 Nevis. Folks, you're thinking about this wrong, okay? You need to think about this as an international hub. There's almost 8 billion people in the world, okay? So how are you going to market to those people? Don't think about here. It's the world that you're marketing to, okay? And you're in a country that has no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. A property tax is 0.20%, whatever you purchase with a $29,600 US exclusion before that kicks in. Folks, it doesn't get any better than that. Now, all you got to do, now you got your tax problem solved, but if you're a U.S. citizen, you're going to have to relinquish your U.S. citizenship unless you qualify for the foreign overseas exclusion. Now you can deduct up to $112,000 per person. It's $224,000 if you get husband and wife working a business that you can. If you do a joint tax return, you can actually make that tax free. Okay, and there are all kinds of deductions on top of that. But like I said, if you want unlimited, you need to relinquish your U.S. citizenship. Another way you can do it is if you're from Australia, Italy, or whatever, you're going to have to break away from that country legally. You might have to pay an exit tax. You might not. You're going to have to look at the tax laws in that country. and come down here. And once you find out that there's no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, you don't have to spend your time so much thinking about taxes anymore. Think about production and getting your business going, okay? Now, there's so many ways that you can do this here. I've just given you a few right there. The key is what you've got to do is decide how you're going to formulate it, how you're going to market it. But I'll tell you something, there's no other better way than the internet with YouTube. I'm going to tell you something, it's free advertising. I see so many people not utilizing YouTube. It blows my mind. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. I'm 68 years old. We used to do lead systems back in the 1990s, okay? And our lead system, per 1,000 leads, was 400 US, included the paperwork. And actually, the postage and the paperwork was actually over 400 US dollars per 1,000 leads, okay? That was back in the 1990s, 30 years ago. Now you can do it for free with YouTube, okay? So it ain't got more expensive. It's going from high to where it's free now, okay? You ain't gonna get any better than that. The problem is, what good is it if you're not gonna sit there and use and utilize YouTube and work with it, okay? Take your business, formulate whatever you do. It might not be exactly what you do, but you can take the knowledge of your business, formulate it. It might be a dentist. Now you, instead of cleaning somebody's teeth, you can convert it into dental sales all over the world for dental equipment. There's all kinds of ways you can do this. There's 8 billion people. How do you want to market that? You can do it through YouTube, okay? There's so many different ways you can do this. I see people coming out of college now. They're in their 20s, 30 years old, and they're not, these guys, very bright, got real good IT minds, but they're just not being guided in the right direction. YouTube, I think, is one of the best inventions that ever came out, because now you can take the tax havens now, where it used to be, man, to make a phone call before Skype, before WhatsApp, was $1.50 to $3 a minute back in the 1990s. I mean, it was very expensive. The cost now to do stuff international with YouTube, with WhatsApp, with Skype, man, it's just gotten so much better. But people aren't utilizing it. They're sitting in places, they're paying out half their money out in income taxes, capital gains taxes, estate inheritance taxes. Folks, you need to be looking at the tax laws in countries like St. Kitts and Nevis and then utilizing that. There's 8 billion people in the world. How are you going to market your product, okay? And you can do it, I don't care what kind of business it is, you can do it with YouTube. And you can do it free advertising. It's incredible. It's the best invention that ever came out. But I see so many people not utilizing it. They don't know how to do it, okay? And this opportunity is probably going to be here so long. Don't wait until you're too old to try to do it. You need to take your idea. Everybody out there's got some sort of good idea on some sort of hobby or whatever they like. Take that idea. Don't go to a job or business that you don't like. Take what you do like, formulate it, move to a pure tax haven like St. Kitts and Nevis, and take that thing and run the hell out of it, okay? And market it. And take something like for instance, recycling. This is a great idea. Take this stuff right here, recycle it, okay? And whether it's seaweed or plastics or glass, man, take this thing and recycle it and do it in a tax haven. This is the best way to do it. Now, this is just some of the ones I'm telling you about. There are other things too. Like, what about, I've told people before, there's a huge shortage of these storage containers down here in St. Kitts. Somebody needs to come out here. You got 2 medical schools. You got a vet schools. These kids go off the island. They have no place to store their stuff because they don't want to be paying for rentals. So it's a lot cheaper to put it in a storage container before they come back the next year. And then these people leave, and then somebody else comes and takes their place after they graduate. There's a huge amount of need for storage containers. When I came here, I could not find one single storage container. And just the other day, I tried to find one, I couldn't find one. It's just incredible. These opportunities are here, but people just aren't taking advantage of them. There are restaurants here that would, one of my favorite restaurants is Subway. There used to be one here. but they closed it down. I think one reason they closed it down, there were a lot of things they should have been doing, they weren't doing. One was every Subway that I used to go to, you used to get the free tickets every time you got a sub. This place is the only one that I've ever went to, they didn't have that. There were other things I looked at too. There's no Subway in Nevis or St. Kitts. The only place I've ever been in the world where there is no Subway restaurant is in St. Kitts and Nevis. You could put one on both islands. I mean, this is the type of thing we're looking at. All kinds of potential things that you can do. You notice this trash? Okay, this stuff is free. You came down here, you could gather all this stuff for nothing and work out something with the government to clean the beaches up. You take it, you recycle it. I'm giving you some great ideas that you can do. There's 8 billion people in the world. How do you want to market it? That's the key right there, okay? So many different ways that you can do things here. Folks, if you want to learn more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says apply with us, fill out the questions, hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. On the right of your screen, you get new videos automatically as they come out. We've got over 600 of them there. And again, go to our website. You get more information. We'd be glad to help you out, and I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.